Hi everybody, this is Pat from the AnimatronicShop, and this is a video series on how to build your Starbot Toonimal. And in this video we're going to be building the eye assembly, and I want to get first started by getting the Arduino and the joystick and the servo harness ready. So I already have the joystick plugged into the Arduino, and I have my servo harness. And this row of header pins, they go from 1 to 13. There's a few other things, but we're right now just looking for the numbered pins. So I'm going to take the white one and put it into number 8. The orange one, put it into number 9. And the brown one, put it into number 10. And the black one goes into ground over here. And the red one goes into +5. So there you go. And I'm going to put this off to the side for now, and we'll be using that in just a little while. And I have one servo and the servo horn and one of the servo horn screws ready to go. So I'm going to start with the iMech bottom, and that's the one that has the square cutout for the servo. And I'm going to take our one servo and 2 of the shorter plastic screws, and I'm just going to push them into the back of the servo. And this works really awesome because it holds the screw in place, and it's sort of like a set of helping hands when you go to put this into the mechanics. So with the iMech bottom type in this direction, I'm going to put the servo in from the bottom with the servo shaft towards the side that says the iMech bottom. Now, isn't that great? Those screws are just there waiting for me. I don't have to try and hold them into that little place. And like I said in the other video, everything gets just lightly snugged down, doesn't have to be made too tight. Okay, so there's the servo and the orientation in the iMech bot. So now I'm going to take one of these small little side plates, the one that says EM1. I already have my small nuts into their T-slots, and it needed one piece of tape to hold that nut from sliding out on me. I'm going to put that into where it says EM1, take one of the small machine screws up through the bottom, and there's one of the side supports. Now I'm going to take the piece that says EM4. This is the servo linkage, vertical linkage holder, mounting point, and I'm going to take the back part of the servo mechanism, and where it says EM3 and EM4, I'm going to put this into the EM4. Take one of the small machine screws and snug it down. And there's our back of our servo mechanism and the mounting point for the vertical linkage. I'm going to take this, put this into the iMech bottom, a couple of the small machine screws, and lightly tighten those down. And there you go. Can you see that? Alright. Now we're going to put the other small side support, the one that says EM2. I'm going to put that into the iMech top, and I'm going to go in from the bottom of that, like so. And the EM2 will be on the bottom because that'll line up with where the type is on the bottom, the iMech bottom. And you'll see why we do one side, the top on one side and the bottom on the other in just a minute. One machine screw, and that's all ready for further assembly. Okay, now comes the sideways eye linkage. Now here are these 2 pieces of linkage. And you see that one of them has the cutouts on the same side and the other has them on the opposite side. We're going to put these together so when they're combined, they both have the cutouts facing upward. And I'm going to take one of the small plastic screws and go up through the bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. So it's going to look like that. And I'm going to take the servo horn and let me see if you can see that, the large hole. With the servo horn in this orientation, I'm going to put this linkage up from the bottom. And then I'm going to lightly snug it down and back it to the left, just like a small turn, just so I want these nice and floppy. Yeah, like that. Okay. So now, to put those onto the servo, I'm going to take the Arduino. Let me put it so where you can see it. Like this. I'm going to take this servo and I'm going to put it into the number 1 position on the servo harness. Now I'm going to take the Arduino and I'm going to plug the USB power in. This is, right now it's for my computer. I hear it blip that it recognized it. I'm going to press the power button, and now when I move the joystick left and right, I can sort of feel the servo moving. What I want to do now is I want to find that center of that servo. And right now this Arduino is programmed for the Toonimal, so the alignment and the servo, right now the program's set up for the Toonimal. So I'm going to take this linkage we have and I'm going to put it onto the shaft, but I'm only going to lightly push on it, and I can feel the splines on the servo shaft when I lightly push down on this and move the horn back and forth. I want to find the spline that's closest to the vertical position. And there it is, and I just push down on it now and snap it into place. I'll take one of these small screws from the servo bag that the horn is in, put it at the top into the shaft, tighten it up, and now when I move the joystick, you could see the linkage is moving left and right. So we're done with the Arduino for a little while. I'm going to unplug it and unplug the servo from the harness. Now at this point right now, we can put the mechanism in to our bot. And the reason why we did one on one side and one on the other, I would have loved that the eyes were on here already when we put them in, but there just wasn't enough room here because of the configuration with the eyes being so high in this mechanism that there wasn't enough plastic for me to make a hole large enough for the eyes to go through and still have enough strength for support. So I'm going to slide this in like so. Find that slot that's in the eye mechanism, and there you go. The iMech is starting to go into the main assembly. Now I'm going to take the top and I'm going to slide the, I'll go from this side, slide the top in, let it find the slots on the iMech. There they go, they're in. And now I'm going to take 4 machine screws, and there's going to be 3 on the top and 1 on the bottom. One, 2, and 3. Now there's going to be 1 left on the bottom here. And there we go. Cool. So now any of these small pieces of tape that I have, I can peel those off now. And I had 2 here. 1 and 2. Okay. Look, there's one more piece right here. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take this one long, small plastic screw. That's for the hinge of the eye mechanism. It goes in from the left side, and you'll see it'll find the hole in the main assembly, and then it'll tighten up on the support on the other side. Now, and I hold it over here when I tighten it, so I'm not holding it over here, but I'm holding it over here so the force is directly being transmitted to my hand and not going through a whole bunch of plastic and maybe break something. So like before, I want everything nice and moves freely like that.